This is Tawana Freeman with the Black Life Coaches Network. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of BLC TV. I love to have guests on who not only talk the talk, but they also walk the walk. And that's Chef Timothy Moore. Now, I have to say, he's also a member of BLC. So, that's a great addition to our team. But welcome, Chef Timothy. How are you today?
I'm doing good, Juan. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Tell us a little bit about your background. Our members need to understand that, again, you're a veteran in this business and you've done so much to help the community. The African-American community has benefited, but just the world in general have often benefited from your written materials, your books, as well as your show, your cooking show that you have. So let's talk a little bit about who you are and how you got started.
Well, it basically started when I used to do psychological counseling, PhD in counseling. And I mushroomed from a college guy at about 200 pounds to 360. And I got to the point in life where I couldn't do anything. And I kept going to the doctor and they kept giving me more medicine and says, oh, this is the way of life. You're supposed to have these ailments, as we hear every day. Well, they put a person in my life, a doctor that said, you don't have to live like this. And I said, yeah, right. My doctor said, yes, you're going to live on high blood pressure pills, cholesterol pills. I was taking 2 insulin shots a day. I was taking glucophage a day, all kind of medication to live. So one day I had this epiphany. I told my mother, I said, I'm not going to live to 35 years old. She said, hey, you control it. So I started learning about nutrition, got rid of all my medications, lost about 155 pounds. So and I said, wait a minute, there's something to this stuff. So I started understanding more health, more nutrition, going back to school, getting educated and going back to school to learn how to cook food different. And it just changed my world. And I walk it every day. There's so many people dealing with diabetes, high blood pressure every day that I deal with. And the average person do not realize they can overcome diabetes, high blood pressure, and all these ailments. So that's why I started. And I just educate people with the books I've written about diabetes, eating food properly, understanding nutrition to a point that it's not threatening. Because, we hate being taken away from our creatures of comfort.
Yes.
So I said, hey, how about getting back into something that's fun again? You're thinking you can't enjoy food because people look at me and think, you don't eat anything but a salad. Oh, God, no. I make all kind of dishes, show you how to make 15-minute wonders that taste great. And your health changes start immediately.
Right. And Chef Timothy, we have so many shows, television shows. We have a number of different books. You have the Dr. Oz is now telling everybody, how to live their life this way or that way. We have so many experts that are available to us, right? So Let's talk about your unique way and approach, because what I like is that you speak directly, you speak our language, okay? Now, everything is for all of us, but, with all the different experts, we always say we want to offer enough of a variety of experts where you can find that person that really works for you. Tell me a little bit about your unique approach or style in delivering your message.
Well, that's a good point. I keep it real because when you look at my mission, it's helping hurting people overcome pain and live longer. When you think about it for a minute, the average person just like me and you, what do I need to do? If I'm being told all day long what I need to do, but if I show you, walk you through it, hold your hand and encourage you, it makes a big difference, and especially in the African American community. Because if I'm told you can't have chicken or fish or beef or pork and all the stuff that I grew up eating, now I can't have it, oh, it's causing a headache. So, and the average doctor I deal with every day, they haven't never walked in my shoes. They don't understand about diabetes, high blood pressure. They don't understand what I face. So when I sit down with somebody uniquely, I say, it's about you. I care for you. And I have to joke with them. I have to laugh with them. I have to make them feel comfortable to understand I care for the person. Because if I care for you, I'm able to get a breakthrough that it's not just about me suggesting some things. You can feel my passion that I love helping you overcome whatever the ailment, issue, emotion, whatever we got to deal with. That's what I like about it.
Absolutely. And you're great at it. And so, Chef Timothy, there was one reason, that I wanted to bring you on. To introduce you is one thing, but the second purpose was to talk about hypertension with African American women. It is a huge issue we have. We're balancing our households as the head of households in most cases. We're raising children. We're the primary breadwinners. We have the stress of taking care of our families, our mothers, or our parents because they're elderly. So much pressure and stress is on the Black woman these days.
When you look at it though, hypertension in the African American woman, 80% of all African American women are obese. 37% of all African American women have high blood pressure. 1 in 4 die from high blood pressure. So what do we change? The number one component we have to change is to learn how to relax. Because we are faced with so many structures, so many issues coming at an African American woman from every angle is coming at her. She's the head of the household in most homes. Even if she's married, she's still the head of the household. She'll make all the decisions. She has 1 or 2 jobs. She's dealing with children. And we have to take time for ourselves. How do we relax? What do? We don't relax. We're always under pressure. We're always trying to get it done right now. We're trying to please everybody as an African American woman, except pleasing ourselves. So we have to learn how to take control of our body. We must learn how to exercise. Now, exercise does not mean you have to run a marathon. It means you can walk a brisk walk in your neighborhood. It means you can have a gym where you want to go to. And I do understand, because I deal with so many African American women, that a lot of times it's embarrassment of weight size. They don't want to go to a gym and get trained by some petite person that's never had a problem with weight. Well, find you a peer group that are your size, that are making changes. Because what we understand about obesity and hypertension in the African American community, if you can get just healthy, I don't care how big you are, if I can get you healthy, it takes care of everything else. That's the key. So what do? We learn how to relax. We learn how to walk. We learn how to eat sensible meals without loaded with all type of salt. Put the salt shaker to the side because it elevates that blood sugar and that blood pressure. And then we must just enjoy life, because there's nothing wrong with being plus size, because everybody plus size don't have health problems. But we can understand comforts of eating healthy and enjoying life and get rid of some of those enablers that, when you start eating different and changing what you're liking, people don't like change. And your friends don't like change. And in women's case, they're around comforters. If your girlfriend likes it, they like it. Well, sometimes you have to break the yoke for a moment and say, I got to get myself together, because if I don't, I'm going to be in trouble. So exercise, eat right, drink water, learn to live, learn to enjoy life, and find out who you are as an individual, because it's unreal that how many people every day are dealing with high blood pressure, which they should not. In the African American women, we shouldn't. And it don't mean, when I look at it, they can be petite or 6'8".
That's right.
But it's stress.
That's right.
It's stress. So we have to look at little small things to change what we're doing. And I promise you, in the programs we create for people, we are able to get diabetes, high blood pressure under control pretty fast. But it goes back to what I said earlier. You have somebody to hold your hand. You have somebody that can walk you through it. Somebody can walk the talk with you and say, hey, because people don't realize how good food really is when we show them how much they really going to eat on a new way of lifestyle versus the old lifestyle. And they can have all the comforts.
That's right. And what we're doing, we're talking to Chef Timothy Moore. He is a member of Black Life Coaches. He is a chef. Actually, he's a wellness coach, a life coach. Let's be very specific about that. When people visit your website, they will find several publications from you. Tell us which publication would fit this particular group we're speaking about.
You know what? I got 7 books out, but the thing about it is, you got the 47 tips to reverse diabetes and Vegans Eat What. Now, Vegans Eat What cookbook does not mean you have to be a vegan. That cookbook will help you reduce weight unreal, because when I show people in an 8-day plan how to drop 10 to 15 pounds in 8 days, they're amazed how simple it really is. It's not complicated. When I go to the gym and somebody's a size 2 and they're trying to lose a little handle on the side, and I start laughing, I said, what a handle at? And I tell them one little thing to do, and they come back in about a week and say, how did I lose that weight that simple? When I sit down with people, I look at the dynamics of the body, and I do a lot of biofeedback technology that says, okay, what is causing stress on your body? Now, let's say you don't realize you might be allergic to some kind of food item. It might be greens, beans, might be a peanut, it might be a piece of bread. We're able to find out what you're allergic to pretty fast and say, if you remove this out of your body or have it every 3 or 4 days, you'll be amazed how simple you can lose weight. Like in one of my books, there's no oil, no salt, no sugar, none. Well, if you take the oil out, which is 14 grams of fat, no sugar, and no salt, number one, you're going to lose weight. There's no way you cannot lose weight. But the problem is, no oil. How am I going to fry it? Well, it's all baked, so you don't have to worry about oil. What I need sweet, when I show you how to make some desserts that are not made with regular sugar, but they're nice and encourageable, and sugar and salt, you don't miss it. When the taste bud changes in about 14 days, you start to live a good life. And like you said earlier, you have to be selfish with yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to be selfish for somebody else. And usually, if you don't take care of yourself, somebody going to take care of you that you don't like or you mistreated, and they're going to be your caretaker, and you're not going to like them.
I know that's right. I know that's
So,
right.
so it's about you taking care of yourself.
Absolutely. Now let's circle back for a second. You said something that was interesting to me, and you said we can find this information in in your book, but you just said we can lose weight in 8 days. You
Okay.
said what did you tell
Okay.
her?
Okay. Weight loss is simple. If a person wants to take the gluten out, I'm going to tell you, so they won't believe that they try. Take all the gluten out of your life, all the gluten out for 8 days. Eat no grapefruit and eat no oranges. Eat no tomatoes and no bell peppers for 8 days. Take those out of your life for 8 days. Get on the scale day one. In the day, and in the 8 days, you're gonna say, "Wait a minute, where'd that weight just go?" Just by taking those little small things out of your item. Understand, gluten attacks the system, and so many females do not have bowel movements. I hate to say
Yes,
it.
it's true.
So you take the gluten out, it changes the dynamic of the body. You take that tomato out, you take a bell pepper out. Their body start to change. And the grapefruit, well, grapefruits is great. But on this program, no grapefruits and no oranges. You're taking all the sugar away. What happens 8 days later, I don't care what size you are, I don't care what your children's going through, take them on the journey with you, watch what happens in the household. You're going to get well. Things going to
Wow.
start changing the body.
About men. Let's talk a little bit about what men can do to support their significant others, because what happens is, and we're cooking for our spouses, and they're not on the same path, for wellness as we are. And
Right?
sometimes,
Right?
sometimes we're trying to reduce the curves. We're going to be curvy no matter what. That's just just who we are. Sometimes we're going to be curvy, but we don't want to be unhealthy. But as we're changing our diets, our spouses are criticizing that, or concerned that we are trying to force a different life on them. So what are some of the suggestions that you have for women as they are surrounded by that type of, well, you said it earlier, you laughing, but you
You
said
know,
it
you
earlier.
know, but the thing about it with men, and I have to get the women to play hardball with me. I say now, who's going to be your caretaker if something happens to you? You're trying to pacify them, not a problem. I always say if it's love from the heart, it's not going to matter. But if it's not love from the heart, you get sick, who's going to really take care of you? So your spouse or significant other, whoever, hey, if I get sick and keep eating the way you want me to eat, are you going to take care of me? Are you going to bathe me? Are you going to do everything that I need? Are you going to quit your job and be a caretaker for me? You're going to find out real fast. No.
Yeah.
So, and you explain to him why you're making these changes and incorporate into his life small things as you eat. And I hate to see you make 2 meals, but if they're understanding, that's why I tell people that are going on a healthy lifestyle or women that are dating, I say, find somebody like you. Don't just rush into this guy or this girl that doesn't eat like you or walk like you, because you're going to have a problem down the road. But if we teach them sensible things, how to eat, the wife, the girlfriend, she takes to the boyfriend or husband and say, this is what we're going to do and why. I'm tired of taking 19 medications. I'm tired of not walking to the mailbox because I've been there. I'm tired of can't even go up my stairs. And look, I'm tired of not ever going to the park with the children because I have no energy.
Right.
So you make it understand. This is what we do. We say, it's about life. It's about you. I can talk with all the theological and all the doctors talk on TV, but it's not getting through. We had an obesity epidemic.
Yes.
High blood pressure is rampant. 1 in 3 of our children has diabetes. All our doctors and future doctors and lawyers and sanitation workers, all of them gonna be diabetics.
Yes. Yes.
High blood pressure.
Yes.
So ladies, tell your man, you love me? Change with me. I want you around for the long duration, and I don't want to be your caretaker.
Yes, I know that's right.
I don't want to be, it's enough
Yeah.
taking care of the children now, the children coming back home.
Oh, I know they
So
are.
you talk about, now we go again with that stress. You get them out, then they come back. So
Yes.
if you talk to them normally, they will understand. You love me, I love you. Okay, let's do some changes together. Well, I got to have something. Have you ever tried it though? And most people, what I find out, that don't like something has never tried it.
That's
They've
right.
never tried it. Somebody
Yes.
said something to them about, I don't like okra, I don't need her. Well, but you've never tried it. So,
You
he had
know,
a set.
but
Go
you know
ahead.
what? You're hitting the nail on the head because so often in our community, we are so famous for taking someone else's opinion about something else, regardless if it's a person, place, or thing. We'll take someone else's opinion and call it Bible. Well, yep,
Right,
that's the
right,
truth.
right.
I feel the same way. And so that I appreciate the fact that you pointed that out, because the one thing that even children know, when you're feeding your children, if you do not put the variety of foods in front of your children, healthy foods, a variety of foods in front of your children. If you don't ever expose them to healthy eating, they'll never know it. And they'll set in judgment because they never tried it. They'll just, another child says broccoli's nasty, yeah, broccoli's nasty, it becomes Bible.
Right,
I don't want to eat
right.
broccoli because my friend said it's nasty, and he's never even tried it. And he's never been introduced to it, but he's seen it on someone else's plate or he saw it on TV, and it's been stated, so therefore it's truth. So we need to do a better job of dispelling our own myths and just saying, hey, you know what? I've tried it once. We experiment with so many unhealthy things. Why don't
Right.
we experiment with what is healthy for a first time? Let's just try it out. You know what I mean? A lot of women, don't work out because they don't want to get their hair messed up. We know that's true. We've seen that story being printed before. I don't want to work out because I don't want to mess up my hair. I just paid for my hair. We don't want to go swimming because I don't want to mess up my hair. So we have all kinds of things that we sit into motion and laws that we create in our lives that prohibit us from making the right decision, right? And so, Chef Timothy, I appreciate the way that you have structured your coaching practice and your ability to communicate straightforward, but at the same time in a systematic approach. You've laid the process out. You made it very plain to understand and simple, and it's not intimidating. It's really simple, and you've kind of just
Right.
walked it out one by one. So, you travel the country and you let people know all over. Tell us, where people can find you, across the United States.
Well, the best way is to go to cheftimothymoore.com. You can email me at info@cheftimothymoore.com. Those are the best ways to catch me because when I literally say I'm everywhere, I'm everywhere. It's really funny you said that real fast. I had to do a funeral for somebody, and I did it in a healthy style. So I fed everybody vegan raw food. Nobody as the guest knew what it was, but the host. And it all disappeared. They thought it was eating meat, and they thought it was this. It was all totally different food that I made and show them I made from scratch. And it was really funny. So a lot of things, people, like you said, perception. When I go into the schools and the children don't even know what a zucchini is, but
Yes.
when I make it into a pasta dish, they say, I don't like zucchini, but I know this was zucchini that tastes like this. Perception. If people would just make sensible, small changes. I didn't say reinvent the book, just small things. You'd be amazed how high blood pressure, fibromyalgia, lupus, cancer, diabetes, and things would change, and your health would get better. And you would have a restless night and sleep wonderful.
That's right. So, Chef Timothy, as a first step for the women that are watching, what would you suggest that they do to you? Contact you with questions, get your book. What would be some of the first steps?
First thing is, I always say to all women, ask yourself this question first. Do you love yourself? And you'd be amazed right now how many women cannot say they love themselves. That's the first we have to deal with on the emotion. Then if you contact me at info@cheftimothymoore.com, we start planning a plan of action because there's no way to know where to start with you until we talk because it don't cost anything to talk because we got to find out where you want to go in life. But I find it 99% of the time when I ask women, do you love yourself? And you that are watching, ask yourself that question. If you can't say you love yourself or you don't know, we need to get that first under control because that is a major stress issue right there by itself that's affecting you. And you can ask people in your office today after you get through and say, ask the women, do you love yourself? You'll be amazed at who you think love themselves really don't, or they can't answer the question. So how can we heal unless we heal ourselves first?
Jeez Louise. Yeah, I didn't expect that, Chef Timothy. I didn't expect.
Well,
But
I
that's
have
true. That is absolutely true. I mean, yes. So often we hear that question posed, but a lot of us answer that question to ourselves. Obviously, that's anything that we say openly. But you're right. If you do take that poll and you survey the women, you will get that response. Absolutely true. that's sad, even though it's
That's really
true.
sad, but
Mm,
but you have to get to the core.
that's
And a
right.
lot of women are walking around lost, and they don't love themselves. At home, nobody loves them. They feel at work, nobody loves them and care. At church, nobody loves them and care. I hate to say it, and so they've been beat up from every kind of aspect of life.
That's true.
So that's why they're miserable. That's why they're upset. But they really are happy people, but they don't know how to bring it out. So as me, as a chef, I sit down with them. I say, let's laugh, let's joke, let's do something different. What's the last time you went to the movie and act like it was a movie, act like it was a meeting? Do something different. Well, I don't want to go. Why? Because it's no fun. Do you love yourself? And you're going to ask people today, they'll say, I don't know. You don't know? And they don't. Totally confused, but they do. But we got to get it out.
Yeah.
And they'll start crying. They'll walk away from you. They don't know what to do. Well, you don't understand. They'll give you a story. Well, what about church? They don't understand me. They don't care. It's about them. Like you said earlier, be selfish with yourself. Let's get your temple together first.
Absolutely.
Mind, body, and spirit.
Absolutely. Chef Timothy, you have brought up another excellent point that really kind of dovetails with some other interviews that we've done on this channel that talks about women understanding their worth and value. And a lot of times we literally undervalue ourselves at the sacrifice ourselves for so many other people, and we literally live for other people versus living for ourselves. And we're first to criticize ourselves, but we still don't want to get help.
Right.
We know it's true, but we don't want to do anything about it. We're actually literally paralyzed with not knowing how to take action to fix it.
Right.
So I am so glad that you start there at the beginning to answer that question, because you're right. It is the root of your ability to move forward. If you do not address that issue, you will just basically repeat the same cycle it was, because within, even in 14 days, you'll turn around and go right back into the same pattern and habits as you were before if you don't understand your worth or your value. Right. So knowing that first is the key to unlock the door of opportunity. So I would submit for everyone watching, please accept everything that he has just said as your wake-up call to take action. And I would submit that you could, at this point, take the first step by contacting Chef Timothy so that he can and his team assist you with the steps that come after you making your first move. Let him take the next move after that and help you walk the walk. Chef Timothy, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to having you back so we can talk more about what's going on with your practice. At the same time, all your articles that are coming out, very, very, very good in content, being able to help bring and address the issues that are surrounding the African American community. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll have you back and we'll talk again.
Okay, be blessed. Attention in the African American community, if you can get just healthy, I don't care how big you are, if I can get you healthy, it takes care of everything else. That's the key. So what do? We learn how to relax. We learn how to walk. We learn how to eat sensible meals without loaded with all type of salt. Put the salt shaker to the side because it elevates that blood sugar and that blood pressure. And then we must just enjoy life, because there's nothing wrong in being plus size, because everybody plus size don't have